Hi, I'm James Headley. Welcome back to the Living in Savannah channel. Yes, you got the title of this episode correct. Today I'm going to share the top 3 reasons that I have advised some of my clients not to buy yet in 2026 in the landings. The words some and yet are doing a lot of work in that last sentence because I am by no means saying that no clients are or should be buying this year here on Skidaway Island. However, I think it is worth talking about 3 major reasons why I believe some buyers should remain on the sidelines for the foreseeable future. If it seems counterintuitive or illogical for someone who works solely on commission to be discouraging or at least postponing those commissions, I'd certainly encourage you to have a look at some of the other videos here on my channel to better understand my perspective and my approach to working with my clients. Simply put, I recognize the immense expense and importance of buying a home here on Skidaway, and I believe in providing as full a picture as I can for you before you make that type of commitment. Frankly, I'd rather you didn't buy here than have you buy the wrong home for you here. If that sounds like the kind of approach that might work for you or someone that you know, I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, please do consider subscribing, sharing, and liking this channel, and hopefully these words of caution will prove beneficial to some of you out there. So, why have I advised clients not to buy so far in 2026? The first category of buyer that I've counseled patients with are those who do not plan to spend a lot of time here yet. Whether still working, planning to sell a home elsewhere, waiting for kids to graduate, etc. There are lots of reasons why people who intend to make the landings their primary home, or at least a place that they'll spend significant time in as a second home, are not intending to be in Savannah for a significant amount of time in the very near future. Unless you're buying a home that is going to take a lot of work that you want to have done before you move in, most buyers in this category would benefit from not starting the clock on club joining incentives, HOA responsibilities, and simply general carrying costs of a home until they're ready, or closer to ready to being ready to invest that kind of time here and spend that kind of time here. And while there are some notable exceptions, the majority of homes that my buyers are interested in tend to fall along a criteria spectrum such that FOMO really shouldn't enter into the equation. In other words, if you really like a particular house today, in most cases, I'm going to suggest that a comparable one is going to be available 3, 6, or 12 months from now when the timing is more suitable for you. And if I don't think that's going to be the case, rest assured that I am going to share that with you as well. If there's a unique fit and or value opportunity that urges pulling the trigger now versus waiting. Reason number 2 is simply the price is wrong. As you know, if you're a regular viewer of my first of the month updates on the landings real estate market, the market has softened a bit recently. However, some sellers and their agents haven't necessarily caught on, and initial pricing has often been, shall we say, optimistic or aspirational, to be kind. When price cuts of 5 to 10% of initial asking price within 30 days or so are not seen as rare exceptions, and bearing in mind some of the interchangeability I just talked about, patience is a virtue as a buyer in most cases. Again, there are absolutely exceptions, and my clients know on a daily basis when I see those comparative values hitting the market, but those are definitely more the exception than the rule in the current market. And finally, the last reason or category of buyer I have advised against buying so far in 2026 are the non-golfers. This is the most interesting and really the most nuanced of the categories and discussions. Again, there are plenty of other videos here on the channel talking about the pluses and minuses of Skidaway life as a whole, so my intent is not to rehash all of that here. The fact that roughly a quarter of landings residents do not belong to the club in any way, shape, or form, let alone with a full golf membership, says a lot about the merits of this island paradise on its own as well. All that said, I want to be sure my clients are thinking about all aspects of their potential new home, including life beyond their front door. One bit of good news on this front for a subset of this category is that despite the ongoing lengthy waits for slips or dry dock storage at the landings marinas, recent price cuts at nearby Grand Harbor have made immediate boating access a possibility for those that fall in this category and are looking for boating. And having recently seen some of the model builds out there, the value part of the equation is arguably going to be there for a lot of boating buyers as well. So don't write off Grand Harbor as an option, or even nearby South Harbor for the boaters out there. Again, I hope this was helpful. If some of this resonates with you, it is still never too early for us to discuss your particular situation and timeline, even if I'm going to advise you to be patient. If you aren't in any of these categories, we should connect even sooner. In the meantime, thanks again for subscribing, sharing, and liking, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode.